biggest leak of financial records in history.
Pandora's box.
Who owns assets in the United States?
The hidden wealth and financial dealings of politicians and business leaders has been uncovered.
From pop star Shakira to Russian President Vladimir Putin, the King of Jordan,
With 12 million documents, has been open to the world.
Why should people care about this trove of 12 million documents?
Have you ever wondered how the incredibly wealthy seem to hold on to their huge wealth? While some show off their riches openly, many others hide their wealth, employing complex strategies to shield their wealth from public attention and, more importantly, taxes. This veil of secrecy was partially lifted in 2016 with the release of the Pandora Papers, a massive leak that exposed the intricate financial dealings of the world's elite. Hey everyone, and welcome to Giant Success Stories. Today's topic might surprise you: how the rich and powerful hide their money. It might sound secretive or even suspicious, but understanding these strategies can be eye-opening, even if you're not aiming to become a millionaire yourself. The secrecy of big money. Forget overflowing bank accounts with cash. The wealthy operate in a world of complex financial strategies and legalities. They utilize these tools to minimize their tax obligations and safeguard their assets. This process often involves secrecy and takes place in nations with lax regulations and low taxes. Places like the Cayman Islands, Switzerland, and Singapore are popular destinations for the wealthy to park their money. By utilizing these offshore havens, they can potentially reduce their tax liability in their home country. Here are some key methods used. Offshore accounts. Imagine you're a celebrity earning millions from blockbuster movies. By depositing some of your income in an offshore account, you might pay significantly less in taxes compared to keeping it all in your home country. These bank accounts are located in countries with lax regulations on financial reporting and information sharing. This secrecy allows the wealthy to potentially avoid taxes and keep their financial activities hidden from public scrutiny. Let's say your latest film grossed hundreds of millions worldwide. By strategically depositing a portion of your earnings in an offshore account, you could potentially avoid paying a significant amount in taxes to your home country. Shell companies. The Pandora Papers exposed a system built around offshore havens, countries with minimal regulations, and most importantly, low or even zero taxes. These havens, often scenic island nations like the Cayman Islands or Switzerland, offer an appealing combination of secrecy and streamlined processes for establishing shell companies. These are essentially businesses created on paper, often shrouded in secrecy. They can be used to own valuable assets, like property or investments. The key advantage: the true owner of these assets is cleverly concealed. This makes it difficult, if not impossible, to track who truly benefits from them. Let's say you own a priceless piece of art. You could establish a shell company to purchase the artwork. This way, the ownership is hidden, potentially allowing you to avoid taxes or sell it secretly on the art market. There are legal ways to use shell companies, but they can also be used for illegal activities like money laundering. A study found a link between a country's offshore wealth and its use of tax havens. The study looked at information on shell companies created by a law firm named Mossack Fonseca, which was involved in a leak of confidential documents known as the Panama Papers. The data showed that countries with more wealth held offshore also had more companies registered in Panama, a country known as a tax haven. This suggests that some wealthy people from these countries may be using shell companies to avoid paying taxes at home. Trusts. Trusts are legal arrangements where you transfer assets to a trusted individual, the trustee, who manages them for the benefit of designated beneficiaries, often family members. Trusts can be a powerful tool for distributing wealth across generations. They can also be used to potentially reduce estate taxes, which are levied on the value of your assets when you pass away. Imagine you're a successful entrepreneur and want to leave your wealth to your children. By setting up a trust, you can control how the money is distributed and potentially minimize the amount of tax they pay when they inherit it. However, trusts can be complex and expensive to set up, and they may not be suitable for everyone. People who sell investment real estate, like rental properties or vacation homes, might use a 1031 exchange to delay paying capital gains taxes. This tax benefit lets you postpone the tax bill if you reinvest the money from the sale into another similar investment property. Imagine you're selling an apartment building and want to buy another one. With a 1031 exchange, you wouldn't have to pay capital gains tax right away on the sale of the first building. The idea is that you're simply switching one investment for another, so the IRS allows you to put off paying taxes on the profits, gains, from the sale. To take advantage of this deferral, you'll need to follow the rules of a 1031 exchange. There's currently no limit on how many times you can use this strategy to grow your real estate portfolio without getting hit with capital gains taxes each time you sell a property. However, it's important to note that you will eventually have to pay taxes on the gains when you sell a property without doing another 1031 exchange. Life insurance. Life insurance can be an attractive option for wealthy people looking to manage their money. There are two main types: whole life and universal life insurance. These types of life insurance build up cash value over time, which can be a benefit. Unlike some retirement accounts, there are no contribution limits on how much you can put into these policies. Another advantage is that you can borrow money from your policy's cash value tax-free. This is like a loan, but instead of a bank, you're borrowing from yourself. Importantly, this is still life insurance, so if something happens to you, your beneficiaries will receive a death benefit. There are a few things to keep in mind. If you borrow money from your policy and you pass away before paying it back, the loan amount will be deducted from the money your beneficiaries receive. Also, if you borrow more than you've paid into the policy, you might have to pay taxes on the withdrawn funds. Hiding valuables to avoid taxes. Financial expert Natalie Pine warns about a sneaky tactic some wealthy people use to avoid paying taxes to the government. This tactic involves buying expensive jewelry, like diamonds, and giving them to their children without reporting the gifts. The idea is that jewelry is small and easy to transfer without anyone noticing, explains Pine. There wouldn't be any details listed for the tax authorities to check, unless they decided to audit that person. However, Pine strongly advises against this approach. It's important to be clear, she says. We've never done this, and we absolutely don't recommend it. Municipal bonds. Municipal bonds are a type of investment issued by local, state, and federal governments to fund public projects like schools, highways, and parks. These bonds are considered safe investments because they are backed by the government. They also offer interest payments, but what makes them attractive to wealthy investors is that the interest earned is often exempt from federal taxes. This tax advantage can be less appealing for people with lower incomes, since they may be in a lower tax bracket anyway. If you're interested in learning more about municipal bonds and whether they might be a good fit for you, it's always a good idea to talk to a financial advisor. A balancing act. There are arguments for and against the strategies used by the wealthy to manage their money. Proponents say the wealthy deserve to keep their hard-earned money and that these strategies encourage investment and job creation. They argue that the wealthy are the engine of the economy, and if they're burdened with high taxes, they'll be less likely to invest and take risks, ultimately hindering economic growth. Opponents argue that these strategies create an unfair advantage for the rich and deprive governments of tax revenue needed for public services. They point out that the wealthy often benefit from government infrastructure and programs like education and healthcare, yet they may not be paying their fair share to support them. This can lead to a widening gap between the rich and the poor, and a decline in essential public services. The impact on you, beyond the headlines. Even if you're not a millionaire, understanding how the wealthy manage their money can be valuable. It can help you make informed decisions about your own finances and advocate for fairer tax policies. Here are some things to consider. Financial literacy. Learning about investing and saving strategies used by the wealthy can inspire you to manage your money more effectively. By understanding how the wealthy approach wealth management, you can develop your own strategies to build a secure financial future. Tax awareness. Understanding how taxes work and how they're impacted by the strategies used by the wealthy can help you optimize your own tax situation and hold your elected officials accountable. By familiarizing yourself with tax deductions and credits, you can ensure you're paying the correct amount of taxes and taking advantage of all the benefits available to you. Did this video surprise you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video informative, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel for more content on personal finance and navigating the complexities of money management. We'd also love to hear your suggestions for future video topics.